Over 40% of what you do in your day-to-day life comes from a habit. Hi, my name is Marissa Green, and I want you to understand the positive effects that a simple habit can have on an individual's life. My focus this semester was to look at different aspects of food intake, such as nutrition, and exercise, such as physical activity. I decided to look at these two aspects because I feel like they're bigger ones that more people tend to focus on or look at when they're looking to better themselves or looking at new goals as far as their physical health. These aspects can also have a very large impact on someone's life further in the future and just like any time in your life. So I wanted to look at them because I felt as they're important for any age and can help later on in life if you focus on them now. A lot of people don't focus on these aspects or look into their personal nutrition or exercise because they aren't around the right influences. Oftentimes schools don't go very in-depth into it, or everyone's home life is different, and some people have a lot of that in their life and some people not as much. So my idea and the background that this idea stemmed from was I wanted to focus on eating disorders. Personally, I've had a lot of that has impacted my life greatly, so I wanted to look into simple ways that people can look to get out of this, and even if you're not struggling with that, but just ways you can look to improve your life at a young age. Another thing that often influences someone's nutrition or physical activity is depending on their mental illness. A lot of people, as we know, especially adolescents, deal with mental illness, and some people don't even know what they're struggling from, but they are. And this can often lead to people not taking care of themselves, focusing on their health at all. And I feel like I wanted to look at these aspects because they can really help someone move on from this and be greater in life. Oftentimes, adolescents aren't even reaching the required or recommended 60 minutes of exercise a day, which may seem like a lot to some people, but really it's just going on a walk with your dog or going to your sports practice after school. But some people aren't even meeting this, and it causes negative effects a lot later in your life, such as 70% of diseases that are caused that people get when they're older come from them not focusing on their nutrition early enough in life or not focusing on their just physical well-being. What I decided to do for my project this year was to, each week I decided to create a meal plan, what I was going to eat, how I was going to make it, and just look at the nutrition aspects, but to also find an exercise schedule and just get in the rhythm of this. It started off pretty simple because I just wanted to start from a point of someone who I've never had like a set schedule. I've often been involved in sports, or my family is very into like exercising, and just like I kind of just ate whatever was at home. But I wanted to really focus on what I was eating and just be aware of how I was treating my body and like the physical aspects of everything. I also decided to interview some personal trainers and nutritionists just to get their viewpoint of the whole topic, because obviously they're experts and I'm not. I've just done research over the past few semesters, and I just wanted to see what they had to say, what people came to them most for, what they saw in people most, and like what people are really struggling, and also what age groups come to them, because a lot of times it's people who are older are coming to them, and not often a lot of adolescents because they're focusing on other things, but it's important to start young so that it's always part of your life going forward. A habit takes about 2 months to form, and my project was about 3 months. Obviously it depends on the habit you're forming, how often you're doing it, whether it's daily, weekly, but I was able to fit this into my weekly schedule, and now it's just a part of my routine. I don't even have to think about it, so I can use that going forward in my life as I move on to different aspects, and it'll just help benefit me in the future. My goal was to see obviously how I could build a habit, how I could improve my health, and just see from people who are struggling with eating disorders, people who are struggling with mental health, or just people who don't really know where they're at in this, just to see how simple it is to start something and how you can fit it into your schedule and move forward, even if it's starting small by just changing the way you eat or even just being aware of what you're doing, how much you're exercising or what you're eating, even if you're not really changing much. I want to teach others this because I want everyone to be able to benefit from it later on in life. If nobody learns about it now or it's not talked about now and people are just like in the dark or like struggling with an eating disorder or mental illness or just don't even know, they won't address it now and they won't be able to move forward. It'll be a lot harder to pick up these skills and be able to do all that later in life. There are about 7,590 hours over the 8 to 10 years that people go to school, and I hope that these 10 minutes were beneficial to you. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions?